So you know how when you're young, boys and girls will pick on each other a lot because they like each other? I kind of feel like it's pretty similar for Warhammer and Gunpla fans. So, I've been a Gunpla fan for a while, building Gunpla for a while, painting them for a while. And I bought a starter snap-up set of Space Marines back when I got into the hobby, just to grab the free paints that came with them. I painted one of the Marines, didn't like it, thought it was kind of boring. It looked cool, the paints were fine, and I've gotten a lot of use out of the blue paints. Basically, any blue on one of my high-grade Gundams is the normal McCrew blue, or whatever you call it. But I've never really built a kit from Games Workshop. So I really want to look at one of these and give them a try. I've been itching to do more tanks lately. I've been really into like tanks. I've always loved gun tank, and of course Machine and Krieger, all of that sort of military style, more realism. I haven't watched Votoms yet. I know I would like Votoms a lot, but that sort of maybe 70% realism, 30% sci-fi. Warhammer is a bit too crazy for me. These kits, the lore is very, very deep on these kits. You might imagine that you would need to read novels or things like that to get into the Warhammer universe, but me, simply, I just want to paint a tank. I wanted to paint some artillery units. I wanted to paint some little guys. I've never really painted any minis other than a few of the 1/100 pilots on some Gundams. There's little guys in here. There's some artillery. There's a lot of stuff to try new things here, because I'm used to painting robots. I'm not used to painting little boxes or tires, dirt, basing. And I really do dig this box. This is a really nice box. It's not picking up the best on the camera because it has this like bumpy texture. It's very like almost like pre-weathered box. But yeah, you can see here these painted examples of the miniatures that look really, really nice. So my friend and I were looking at Warhammers earlier, and I was planning to do a Lehman Russ classic tank, Astra Militarum, in this sci-fi universe. If you know nothing about Warhammer, is basically just normal human military in this horrifying world of aliens and demons and gnomes and orcs and whatnot. So just have normal human infantry is very cool to me. There's the joke that you should just go play bolt action or go do normal armor modeling, but hey, I've been working on USS Missouri. I busted my chops on an old Revell kit. I think I deserve a little bit of an easy sci-fi funsy kit. Now, I don't know anything about the lore. I don't read the novels. I haven't played any of the games, and frankly, I'm not too interested. I'm probably never going to use these for play, right? So I kind of have all my chips on that Gundam tabletop game being kind of fun, and then hopefully taking those rules and modifying them into a custom rule set for high grades, because I have a lot of custom high grades and painted high grades. So I think it'd be fun to kind of make the rules adaptable to a high grade system, and just play the whole game with high grades on like a bigger table. We'll see if the game is not fun, and if that game really sucks, then maybe I'll start playing Warhammer. So this is a very nice decal sheet that comes with this, and this is all Astra Militarum, so there's different factions here I have found from talking to my friend about this. So you'd want to make sure that you're not accidentally using different logos from different factions, different insignia. So there's a little bit of research that would be necessary on the model there, but I don't think anything more than your typical water slide sheet. I have like a Gundam Seed water slide sheet with a bunch of faction logos on it I've never seen, and they're all probably from Astray and MSV and all these random Seed offshoots. Some interesting lettering here, interesting fonts, very metal, very German. Very cool. My original plan, I really want to do like Japanese Astra Militarum, like Japanese World War II army. So kind of like take some bolt action heads and put them on these guys. Now these guys I'm probably just going to do out of box because this is going to be my first Warhammer kit. So I'm probably just going to follow the instructions, you know, as much as I can. But that does bring me to the instruction manual, and this as a gunpla builder is a little bit overwhelming, honestly. You would think Warhammer, with the popularity that it has, would have a little bit more clear or beginner-friendly instruction manuals. I'm looking at these, I think these are more beginner-friendly than a gunpla instruction manual, but it's just a different language I don't know how to read yet, which is funny because the gunpla manuals are in Japanese and I don't read Japanese, but I know how to navigate those manuals. Now here, different things are color-coded. The different option parts or options for the sets are broken off into different colors. So if you want this on the battery or this artillery or this, you have those options there. And that is cool that there's actually the options as well for the different ammo in the ammo box depending on what the gunner is using. And yeah, full color instruction manual is so far as I believe showing you the different options. Now this is what is a bit confusing, so I was looking at this manual and then sometimes it'll use blue and it doesn't seem like the blue is necessarily an optional part, but I'll need to really just parse this out and kind of make the kit as it goes. Like, see, this goes on here. And then so you would think that these blue pieces here are optional pieces. And I mean, at a certain point, you can really just kind of take these pieces and do whatever you want as long as it ends up making the artillery at the end of the day to some degree. Because it seems like these kits have a lot of options. You're going to have a lot of extra parts left over. And that's a good, obviously, marketing ploy to get you to buy more kits and use those heads that you'll never use and those extra guns that you'll never use because every kit that you buy is going to have extra guns. Now, Warhammer specifically makes me think of one thing, weirdly enough, and that would be my cousin. I have this cousin who lives provinces away. They're a Vancouverite, BC person. And yeah, my cousin, my association with them mostly was that they were the Reboot fan growing up. Like, they were a big fan of Reboot, and that was how I knew that show. If you're a Canadian or if you like early CG shows, you probably know what Reboot is. Pretty popular sci-fi CG show, kind of in the era of Beast Wars and all that. Yeah, his mom, I met her at a wedding, or met her as an adult at a wedding, about a decade ago, and she was just, kind of loud, old-fashioned, saying things that didn't need to be said at a wedding in a public sense. And yeah, but her son was my cousin, and he was a nice guy and the Reboot fan. Really nice detail on these runners here, honestly. Like, these guns definitely have more detail than your typical gunpla gun. Like, I don't know a lot of Gundam pieces that have this sort of, like, riveting and attention to detail on the part itself here, so much so that my camera is having a hard time focusing until I pull it back a little bit, but there we go. And honestly working out pretty well. Yeah, these are very nice pieces. And these are all your little human parts here. So to make all your little troops, they come with the kit. There's head options, bodies, you know, some other parts of the artillery here, some little guns. And these seem like bits and bobs and other guns. Wheels and whatnot. Now, my mom knew that I was getting into Gundam and started to paint Gundams. I remember she looked at my paint clips one day, my alligator clips, and was like, "Oh, you're really starting to take this seriously, huh?" And I thought that was funny. Because, yeah, I'm the one to kind of bounce off of stuff, but I've kind of stuck to my guns on this one for a few years at least. And she asked me if I'd ever heard of Warhammer, and yeah, I had, but you know, I thought that was a thing that maybe like 5 people were into, because, you know, I'd heard of tabletop wargaming, but to me, I thought it was just kind of the lesser to D&D, because you have to like do annoying things like paint models and buy models and whatnot. But yeah, at the time, that cousin that I was talking about, who was the Reboot fan, he, we all knew in the family that he was dying of a brain tumor at a pretty young age, just a few years older than me. You know, everyone in the family was really kind of distraught by his degeneration, right? But when my mom asked me if I knew what Warhammer was, I'm like, yeah. Like, my mom is a you know, married to a pastor, old style. You know, she has no business knowing what a Warhammer is. And when she asked me that, you know, she said that my cousin was painting them with her mom in his final days. And just to kind of stop and think that this woman that was kind of detestable in my mind was in her son's final days painting Warhammers with him, was still to this day a really like stop me in my tracks sort of thought. And yeah, I have no idea what faction he did, or you know, didn't see any of his models that he painted. That's you know, I'm not going to go bugging her to ask that sort of stuff, but it is really kind of interesting, because this plastic must speak to people then, right? Like, I'm a Gundam fan. This universe is a little bit too crazy even for me as an anime fan, absorbing all the lore and all of the ideas and the themes and all the different factions, and you know, it's a bit much. But I want to paint a tank, I want to paint some guys, I want to do, you know, some mini paintings, so why not? The fact that there's something in this plastic that speaks to people beyond generations. I've heard other stories of, you know, people doing it with their parents and things like that. And yeah, just to think that that this is one of those hobbies, like maybe aircraft building, you know, 70, 60 years ago, or you know, drone building now even, or something, where like, you know, a father can share that with a son because it's cool. And yeah, I'm always searching for that stuff as a parent. Warhammer will not be that thing. My kid doesn't need to be into Warhammer. It's way too expensive. But, you know, he already names a few mobile suits. He likes Gundams and things like that. But he rips them all apart, so we'll take a few years on that. So this is the Field Ordnance battery that I was looking at, and a beautiful looking kit. Super stoked to paint this up. I don't know if I'll do a custom faction or if I'll just follow a faction or something. The problem is I don't really care about the lore, but if I do a custom faction, that means if I ever do want to use this for play, I would have to paint a whole faction like that, and then I have to spend like $300 to $700 making a faction of, guys in my custom colors that I painted, or I would strip that model and repaint it. But I think the plan here for this and these, the other thing here is to paint it in universe, in lore, in a proper lore faction. So if I do want to sell it to someone who wants to play the game properly with it, they can do that. Facebook Marketplace, everywhere else is actually very good for offloading Warhammer, because people are always looking for models to just pick up and play. Not that I'm necessarily looking to make any profit on this. I'm looking to spend some time and enjoy painting something that I haven't really painted before. And that's the thing, is that I'm a little old, but I'm young. I'm turning 30 soon. And all of this stuff here is just kind of feeding into my anchor of Gundam. Learning new techniques, picking up new pieces, trying new stuff, just so that when I come back to a Gundam that I really want to paint, I have a whole new bag of tricks that I can pull out, right? So then this other big pile of plastic here that was sitting under this little Ordnance battery is obviously, if you're a Warhammer fan, you could probably peg it just from the runners, but this is the Chimera tank. So my friend bought a big battle box with, one of those probably 1,000-point boxes or whatever, and it came with a tank. He knew I wanted to paint a tank. That's not technically a tank, so he cut me a discount on the tank. And it came with its own manual, basically just the runners in the box itself. But obviously I don't have the box. It was a big box. It was like a Lego-sized Harry Potter Hogwarts box. Yeah, I don't know. That's my pull, being like a 90s kid, but growing up in the 2000s. But yeah, like one of those big boxes. So yeah, this green is nice. Like, I don't have a lot of like Warhammer-y German greens, so maybe I'll need to buy some green before we get into this. I still haven't really decided how much airbrushing I'm going to do on these kits, because I'm using a lot of gunpla to practice the airbrush I just got. And for Warhammer, I'll probably just use that for effects, but I think it's more fun to hand paint a mini. Personally, I've been hand painting Gundams for years, only just got an airbrush, so I'm very interested in airbrushing Gundams, because I've never gotten to try it. But getting my hands on a mini and just hand painting a mini sounds fun. But the tank, there's a lot of coverage here, so maybe just for some nice smooth coverage, covering the panels with the base coat and then doing everything else by hand might be the plan. And this is sort of exactly what I was looking for in a model. I've tried a Revell F-15C and the USS Missouri, and whenever it comes to aligning parts and just like dry gluing something like this together, you'd always expect some sort of misalignment, some sort of trouble. But I can tell from the runners, this is gonna be really nice. I've looked at enough runners over my life that I can just tell that, there's some quality here. There's not a lot of overhang. I mean, virtually none. Like, everything here looks great. And this would be a 40K mold, I believe, so I'm not actually sure how old it is. I wonder if runners say... this runner says 2009. Now, I don't know if this specific Chimera tank is from 2009, and that was the first model of it, or whatever. I'm not sure if Scalemates works with Warhammer. I don't know, because Scalemates is really good for stuff like Revell, to see if they're repackaging a model. Scalemates.com. Repackaging a model and putting it under a different date You know, like taking a different box art, a different date, maybe a new manual, and using an old set of runners or an old mold. So I don't actually know if this is a new or old mold, and it just says 2009 here. But to me, 2009 is a new mold in the modeling landscape, but I know things have accelerated insanely in the last few years. But if this is what they were looking at in 2009, then that's pretty good, you know? Like Gunpla, I feel, didn't even have this level of detail in 2009, and to some degree still doesn't. And this bottom runner here is just tracks and hull pieces. Just big revell ass runner with a bunch of big pieces on it. Nothing too crazy there. And I think this one just comes with one little guy to pop out of the top. So if I want other little guys on the base with it, and this one also does not come with the base, but it's a tank, so you can just move it around on the table if you're playing the game. So that cousin did eventually pass away a few years ago, and you know, I haven't really checked in with the auntie there or his brother, but I know they were all taking it pretty rough at the start, and you know, I'm sure things don't get much easier there. This is all extended family that I'm not insanely close with, but this is all, you know, tertiary stories in my life. And when I do think of Warhammer, I do think of the fact that there was, you know, a sick early 30s guy, Warhammer, in his final days with his mom. And that's honestly insane to me. Also the fact that, you know, if we want to tie it back, like, cancer is crazy. I lost my dad to cancer, and like, it's this unstoppable, ununderstandable force. And we're just humans trying to understand it. And that is why Astra Militarum is pretty cool. Because in a world of literally chaos demons and, you know, genetically modified space marines and eternally living robots with a human inside and, you know, things like that, there's just normal humans putting rockets into artillery and shooting it out. You know, maybe they have a laser, maybe they have a flamethrower, but, you know, they're not using magic to explode people's heads or, you know, really traveling through the chaos warp gate portal that much, I would assume. Maybe the high-level Astra Militarum has big battleships that do go through the rift or the void or the hellscape there through dimensions or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. So regardless, though, that would be for, you know, the elite and not the foot soldiers. And, you know, we're all just kind of foot soldiers trying to stop some unstoppable beasts or even just, you know, defend from them and understand them. Now, from a gunpla perspective, I'm really excited to check out these kits. From a gameplay perspective, not so much, because there's a lot of front loading, a lot of research, a lot of extra kits I would need to buy. I would need to go find some guy who got divorced and buy a bunch of kits off of him and stuff like that. But the way I see it, I wanted to paint a tank, I wanted to paint some more realistic stuff, and this is the perfect blend with the Gundam knowledge I have, the weathering knowledge I have. And to me, a lot of people see models as like, oh, I want to perfect this and have this on my shelf and have this look really good. A lot of times, most of the models that I buy or most of the models that I work on, I see as, let me try something on this. Let me do something on this that I haven't done before. And maybe that specific thing that I tried on that model will look really good, even if the rest of it doesn't, or the rest of it will look really good and that one new thing that I tried will look very bad on it, which has happened. And that's a lot of my modeling mistake series there, is me trying something new and it failing, and then me going, hey, not going to happen the second time. And then guess what? You know, second time it doesn't happen. I think I'm going to do these infantry guys first, and then I'm going to go into the tank. I really do want to start with the tank. I want to paint a tank. I think that'd be fun, but just to get the idea of the Warhammer manual, and just like building little guys and stuff. I think I'll do this guy first here. And then I'll probably build both of them and then prime them together and kind of like weather them all as a unit, or maybe even do my first diorama or something like that. I was planning to do a video about a gunpla diorama at some point, but hey, if my diorama video is on Warhammer, I'm not gonna be mad about that. And I'm sure nobody else is gonna be mad about that because Warhammer people are very thirsty for content. My original idea was to go with Eldar, because my painting style and my color choice, I really like the old style Eldar before the fall and before they all got split up or whatever, when they're all colorful and have a bunch of bright colors all over themselves. I think they look really cool. And the cone heads and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, second favorite would be some just straight up like infantry troops, just some cool little army men. And I'm sorry that it took me until like my late 20s, or basically until I turned 30, to understand how cool little green army men were. But I get it now. I like little green army men. All right, take care.